So let's now learn about assertions. Assertions are basically a debugging tool. Suppose you are suppose you are writing a code and you are making some assumption, and based on that assumption you are writing it. So it is good that when you are making that assertion, you assert that assumption. How do you assert that assumption? You can use the assertions. So you can test your assumptions. So you can test your assumptions using assertion. So, they're testing, they can help you in your testing process to validate your assumptions. During testing and debugging, you can validate your assumption using assertions. So, if your assumption was wrong, assertion will fail and it will throw an assertion error. If your assumption was correct, assertion will not fail, no error will be thrown, application will work. And the good thing or the great thing about assertion and what makes it is very special is you can switch them on, switch them off without any code change. Okay. So you can switch them on, switch them off using the -EA flag when you run your Java code. So the format for using assertions is that you write assert keyword and then you can pass an expression which should be Boolean. So it should evaluate to either true or either false. If it evaluates to true, no error will be thrown. If it evaluates to false, assertion error will be thrown. There is another extended format where you assert, then you have your first expression which is Boolean, and then there is a second expression which is string. So again, based on true and false, if it is false, assertion will be thrown, and this string will also be passed along in the assertion error. So let's see it with the help of a code example. So this here is a very simple code example. We have taken an int of value 10. If value is greater than 0, we are asserting whether value is greater than 0, and we are asserting whether value is less than 5. So if we run this program, so this is a very basic example for assertions. Here we have taken a value as 10. We are asserting whether it is greater than 0, and then we are asserting whether it is less than 5. So obviously the first one situation is true, second situation is false. If we run this code, we can see that at line number 8, we are getting an assertion error and we are getting this string also that we have passed value is less than 5. So this is only happening because here in the run configuration, we have passed this EA flag. If we remove this flag, click on apply, OK, and we run again, no error is mentioned. If we go back again, click on edit configuration, then modify options, then we click on add VM options, and in the VM options, if we say EA, which means enable assertions, click apply, click OK, run again, we will get this assertion error. We can switch it on, switch it off to test our assumptions. This is the purpose of assertion. It throws an assertion error, not an exception. And remember, we should not handle errors. We should handle exceptions, but we should not handle errors. So there is one more example for assertions. This one. Here what we are doing is, we are calling this factorial method. And if we pass a negative number through this factorial method, it should throw an assertion error. Okay. So right now we are passing this, and if we run this method, it is giving us the factorial. You can see that. But if we pass -5 and run again, it is causing an error. It is a Stack Overflow error. But why is it not throwing this assertion at line number 10? Because we have not enabled assertions. So it is causing a memory error. So what we can do is, in the VM options, we can go add VM options and then add -EA, enable assertions. Okay. Apply. We are still passing -5, and this time we run, it upfrontly gives us an assertion error. So based on these assertions, you can test your assumptions in your code. For production, you should always keep assertion as off. But while testing, debugging, you can switch them on to find out where there is a problem in your code. But while using an actual application on a live application, you should always put them as okay. So assertions are to test your assumptions in the code, and you can switch them on and off as and when required for testing. For actual live applications, they should always be off. That's it for other assertions.